Hello and welcome back to the Mad Cinemists Show. We are your hosts, Scott G.
And Phil D.
Today we are talking about Alien on this show.
The whole damn thing.
The whole damn thing. All of the franchise except for the AVPs.
Mm-hmm. Which is why we have one of our favorite aliens on the show today.
Favorite aliens right here. Speaking of which, I actually asked the Mad Cinemist community, which is a separate thing from our Facebook page. It's just a small, at this point, a pretty small community of friends that have, I ask them different questions, and eventually we're going to try to grow that and do more specific events towards them is kind of the goal. But I asked them, what is your favorite alien outside of the Alien franchise? And I got our buddy Adam gave us three really good ones. The first one was I'll just read you everything as it came to us through the comments. Mac from Mac and Me.
Oh man,
Let's start. Yeah. Next comment. Just
I loved
kidding.
his eyelids.
Oh yeah. Next comment. Smiley face. Just kidding. The Predator.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
If the Predator doesn't count, I'm gonna have to go with this guy, and it's just a picture of Alien Gonzalez. So, I thought that was pretty good.
Favorite alien.
Where does he belong? So, good on you, Adam. That's really good, man.
So I asked my friend Adam,
also
as a matter
Adam.
of fact, and he said Spock.
Oh man, yeah, that's a good alien.
Yeah,
So, that's a good alien.
So personally, what do you think? What's your favorite?
Man, I definitely want to say The Thing. First off,
yeah, The Thing's amazing.
Yeah,
yeah,
and probably the what are they called again? The Chozo.
Oh, the Chozo from
Metroid.
Yeah.
First experience with those guys is just that big statue that comes alive in Super Metroid. Yeah, it starts out like this.
Yeah, man.
And then just starts clawing at you with a fierceness.
Terrible.
Yeah, it's real bad. And then it's like, what is this bird thing? And then come to find out there's actually a mythology behind them, and they're actually really cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things I really liked about Metroid Prime is you learn so much more about the Chozo, and
Right.
that they actually do have a fairly complex, religion and all this stuff.
Right.
And, you're actually kind of a chosen one in their belief system, so it's cool.
Yeah.
So,
What about you, man? What was yours?
well, I really like the prawns from District 9, man.
Yeah.
I've always liked them. They seem like a very, empathetic race. Like you can understand they're just refugees in a situation.
Yeah.
They don't really want to be there any more than the people that are harboring them.
Are actually there.
Yeah. And then what was the other one that I was talking about?
Something from Mass Effect.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh yeah, absolutely, man. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Krogan from Mass Effect are
Oh,
one of my
okay.
favorite period. Which, by the way, I mean Mass Effect, Star Trek. There's just so many alien
there's
races.
so many good alien races in both of those series.
Absolutely,
Yeah. Kind of hard to narrow down just one.
Which, by the way, this brings me to a point. You can't have a good Star Trek Next Generation conversation anymore because as soon as you say Cardassian, everybody's like, "Oh, the Kardashians."
Kim?
Ruins it every time. Every time, man.
Goddamn Kardashians. The real life ones, not the aliens. Those are okay.
Wait, huh? Okay.
Did I throw you for a loop?
Well, I mean, are they humans?
Are they real? Are they even real?
I don't know, man. Those could just be bodies that they're inhabiting.
Just reanimated.
Maybe the Kardashians are some kind of interplanetary
kind of like body snatchers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. Well, side note here. Do you know about like Shaq freezing up on live television and shit?
Oh no.
Yeah, Shaq just went.
Oh, just
for about 40 seconds. Yeah, just
shut up.
You just shut off. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. The question or monthly experiment for this month was what was the song or theme song from a movie that you think of the most. Got a couple of really good ones, man. Our buddy Jordan actually said the Greatest Adventure from the cartoon Hobbit.
Oh, yeah.
The Greatest Adventure.
In all of the land. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that one's really good.
Well, man, my favorite one in that one was the
dwarf song.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Which they did that really well in the Hobbit movie.
Bin the forks and
plates.
That's
did that
what Bilbo Baggins hates.
That shit was great in the
fantastic
new one.
That one.
You know,
I love it. Neil said the Indiana Jones theme.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Jared said the Superman theme.
Yep, absolutely.
Which for the life of me, I've been trying to. These next two, I was trying to think of them before we started. But I just can't what is the Superman theme? It's dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
No. That's not it.
It's not coming to me either, man.
Dang.
Well, it's not memorable for us. That's what that means.
It's okay.
Yep.
There's a big set of all the Superman movies.
Yeah.
And I'm eventually going to get those, and so
we'll Superman it up.
We'll do
a Superman's
in a later episode.
Coming, we've already planned the Batman episode, so you guys,
Yeah, actually, that's coming up, and that leads us into our next answer.
Well, wait a second.
Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Mishore Joshua, it actually says Mishore. Says Danny Elfman's Batman 89.
Absolutely,
theme.
yeah.
That one's really good. Adam, he said the Gremlins theme.
Oh, yeah.
Which is
dun, 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 dun,
dun, dun, dun. Yeah, that one's really good. Got two from his brother Jonathan. Two Mules for Sister Sarah.
I don't know that one.
Yeah, I haven't seen that movie. Check it out. You know?
Yeah, we'll
and Ballad of Jeremiah Johnson.
Oh yeah,
yeah. Another movie that I haven't seen.
Yeah, we were just talking about that.
Yeah, I have it in a stack of movies that I'm going to be watching soon for another upcoming episode. You know, favorite mom movies.
Yeah. Coming soon. Favorite mom movies.
Brandon said Jack Nietzsche's opening from One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
Oh, totally.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now we're going to get into the honorable mentions. Good friend of ours, Chris, said the Mr. Rogers theme.
Oh, my God.
That's not really a movie. So it goes into honorable mentions. But
Wonderful
beautiful name for a neighbor.
Won't you be mine?
Won't you put on them slip-on shoes? Gotta take off your walking around shoes.
Man.
Mr. Rogers.
I'm gonna put away my murder shoes.
Have you seen that video on YouTube where it's like he's trying to teach kids how to count, but he's like throwing up the bird. He's like, "This is one. This is one." Have you seen that? Yeah, dude, it's fucking great.
Flipping little kids off.
Oh, and they're doing it back to him. Yeah, which is what's great about it.
Nice.
All right, guys. Last on this, and probably one of my favorites. Jared said, "Blah" from Inception.
Nice.
That one's good. That was good. Really good honorable mentions, guys. Really good answers.
So what you got, man?
Keep this up, man. I was really torn with this one because it kind of juggled between the Beetlejuice theme.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yeah, that first one.
Yep.
You know. Just because I watched that, the animated series
Oh, yeah.
so much when I was a kid, and so it's just like in my head.
Yep.
And what is it? Princess of the Universe by
Oh,
Queen.
absolutely.
From Highlander.
From Highlander.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
yeah.
that whole soundtrack.
Yeah. Well, yeah, but Princess of the Universe specifically.
Specifically.
Yeah, because, I mean, for me, my favorite song is Give Me the Prize.
Give Me the Prize,
But
yeah.
still, Princess of the Universe is the song of that movie.
I know his name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So good. Oh, man. But, yeah.
But apparently they're definitely that remake has actually been greenlit.
What, Highlander?
Highlander.
Yeah, but it's continued to be pushed back and continue. And
Right.
I just, the problem, do you know about the Queen movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Super excited about that one.
I'm more excited
Bohemian
about that.
Rhapsody. Yeah, I'm more excited about that one.
Because that's a real thing.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah, so.
But the
what
problem
else-
that I have with is, like, who are they going to get to do the soundtrack?
If it's not just Queen again, or if it's not somebody doing Queen covers over again, then I
Beaky
can't
Bam,
be part of
Between
it.
the Buried and Me.
If Between the Buried and Me did the covers. Oh, it'd be so good.
Just have them do the whole album.
Oh, just remake the first movie.
Just remake it. Yeah.
Yeah. We can dream.
Yeah. But what about you, man?
Well, man, okay, so the single movie that I'd say that I get the theme song stuck in my head constantly is Gladiator.
Oh,
Dun,
yeah.
dun, 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 dun. You know, that shit's it's stuck in here. It just loops constantly.
Super good score. I mean,
Yeah.
good movie all around.
Yeah, but that song is great. You know, it has a nice build up. That do 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 do. You know,
Yeah.
it slowly gets there and gets bigger and bigger.
You know, he likes to touch wheat.
He does. He touches that wheat, man.
Touches that wheat.
It's Elysium. And man, I guess again, much like Princes of the Universe, this is just the song of the film, although there are more songs. Man of Constant Sorrow from O Brother Where Art Thou.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those that's just it's timeless. It's
What's
amazing.
That one that I can't remember the actor's name, but there was a man named Gambling Rob.
Oh yeah,
Like Gambling Rob. That's probably that's definitely my favorite
nice
song from that movie. I love
man.
that. Love that song.
Yeah. He liked to steal. It's in the I'm in the jailhouse now.
Yeah, I'm in the
jailhouse now.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a really good one.
That's a good old timey track right there.
Old timey music.
And then I mean, I can't not mention the opening theme of Ghost in the Shell.
Oh yeah.
It's an absolute iconic intro, and it's the kind of thing that
I mean, to the point to where like they used it at the end of the of the live action.
Yeah, I think they used it a little bit in the intro. They did some weird because if I remember correctly,
I think the intro had like kind of the same feel, but it was definitely a different song.
I believe that it's the same composer at least for a couple of the tracks, if not
but
the
still
entire thing.
that
it's definitely different.
That score is iconic.
Yeah,
and just
that,
absolutely beautiful.
That intro song is, along with the intro itself, especially because it's hand drawn animation, is just so impacting, and it's one of those things that I remember from growing up. You know, that just. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and another one that like really gets me is the Willow.
Oh yeah.
The dee 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 dee.
I gotta watch that movie again, man. Yeah.
Man, I love Willow so much.
Because really the only thing that I remember from that movie is when they released the follow the bird.
Oh yeah.
He's going back to the town.
Yeah. Never mind the bird.
Never mind the bird.
Follow the river.
Follow the river.
Yeah. Yeah, that's really good, man. Yeah, and everybody calls him Peck.
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, Peck.
I wonder how that would go off nowadays.
Ooh.
See, I think that's part of the reason why he wanted to bury that movie, because like a lot of little people thought that it was kind of insulting, and I mean that sucks, because it's such a good fantasy film, and it's not really representative of reality. It is a fantasy film,
right.
And in a world and they look like they had a happy little community.
Oh, yeah,
so it's like Hobbits. It's just like Hobbits, man. They were fine.
They might as well have been Hobbits.
Yeah, it's just
like proto Hobbits right there.
That's what it is. It's
proto Hobbit.
Yeah, he ripped off the Hobbit.
Oh yeah,
that's totally what he did. But yeah, those are mostly the ones that stick out in my head, man.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're talking about the Alien franchise today, and you actually found the full timeline, which actually has more than just the Alien movies in it.
So I didn't realize this until looking up the timeline, because over watching the films, I tried to add it up, and I was fairly close to where the timeline actually sits, but I just wanted to get a specific count.
Right.
And Ridley Scott ended up through an interview expressing that the universe of Blade Runner and Alien are connected.
Actually confirming it, because this has been like a fan theory for years.
Yeah.
That they were somehow connected.
Because there's a letter. I'm going to jump to the very middle of the timeline just to fuck with you. In 2090, which was actually directly after Prometheus, there was a letter that Peter Weyland, the old man in the film, sent to Eldon Tyrell from Blade Runner, from the first one, and talking about just artificial intelligence in general, because they were both engineers that were working pretty much towards the same goal, just in different directions. But yeah, let me get a drink and I'll read off this time.
Philip's got to get a sip, just a teeny sip. How am I supposed to drink my sip flipping tapes?
Jogging. Okay, so in 1990, Peter Weyland was born.
It's getting all over the chords. Like we just moved. Just real quick, we just moved all of the recording equipment and all of our equipment for the podcast into a new room.
We did,
and we're actually filming this right now.
This is the first time we've done this.
Yeah,
so
we're not sure
sorry.
if we're going to actually use the video, but we got a nice new table.
We got a table.
It looks like one of those news tables. Like I almost kind of want to start the episodes with breaking news.
There's a couple of cool VGM tracks that sound like news that me and Levi were talking about, to use. So we either that or we'll have to make a news sounding track,
Dun 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 dun.
Exactly.
Something like that.
Yeah, that's funny because that's actually one of the ones that's from Mega Man Network Transmission.
Nice.
It's Shadow Man's stage from Network Transmission.
But but we got a nice new room. It's a little bit more professional. We got our full-time guest Yoda, over here.
So unless we have other people on the show, it's going to be Yoda.
It's always going to be Yoda.
Would you like to say something, Yoda?
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Oh, nice.
Yep.
Yeah. Good point.
So back to what I was saying. The timeline here. So in 1990, Peter Weyland was born. Then in 96, you don't need to care about that. That doesn't matter.
We don't
2012, Weyland Corp was.
We don't care.
Yeah. In 2012, Weyland Corp was founded. In 2019, the original Blade Runner film occurred. 2020 was when the blackouts for the Blade Runner thing happened.
Right.
2035, the events of Soldier, which I've seen, but I have very little memory of.
Very little memory of that film as well. I don't remember it being bad.
Yeah.
It was like, but I was a lot younger when I saw it, and my tastes have definitely changed since then. So going back to it.
If I'd read this before, then we could have gone back and watched the Soldier just because. Whatever.
Yeah. We'll do it. We'll do that one later. Follow up to our first episode of Blade Runner.
So after Soldier in 2036, Neander Wallace from the newer Blade Runner for 2049 creates his replicant model, and that's when that little preview short thing where he's displaying the new model and gets it to kill himself. Yeah, really cool. Then Blade Runner 2049. Then in 2064, that's when you see Elizabeth Shaw as a child. You remember when David's looking at her memories? Yeah. That's how old, she was like 8 or 9 or something like that with her father.
Like real young.
Yeah. So that's, and then...
Why do people die?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Well, they don't want our help. And then in 2089, that's when Shaw and Holloway find the cave drawings in Scotland, right? At which now 2090, like I said, was when the letter between Wayland and Tyrell occurred, and 2093. So that's 4 years after they found the cave paintings. They woke up and started the
started.
Hold on. Yeah, that's right. And then that's when the Prometheus expedition occurred.
Okay.
Sorry, I got a little caught up there.
We'll edit this together.
Yeah, because that was Christmas, remember?
Yeah.
The Merry Christmas. So that's in 2093. So right after that is when everybody dies except for Shaw and David.
Right. And they get into the ship.
And then 2104
right
is when the Alien Covenant shit happens.
Yeah.
2122.
Was that around the same time that Shaw and David went to the Engineer's Planet?
That was directly after.
Directly after.
Yeah. Because in that'd be 10 years.
Yeah.
And.
But then
I don't know exactly when Shaw died. I want to say it was only about let's say halfway through that point in time, 5-6 years. So because he had been alone for a good couple of years.
Oh yeah, for a while.
Maybe she died soon after the attack.
I'm
not really sure.
Yeah, and then he started poking and prodding.
Yep, and what's also cool. Well, you know what? We'll get into that later.
Yeah. Save this for later.
But in 2122, that's when the original Alien film happens, and 2137, Alien Isolation,
right,
which is one of the few games that's still considered canon.
I still haven't played that.
It's wonderful, man. Yeah, it's what's the name of that? Outlast? Do you know about Outlast? Yeah, it's kind of like Outlast, but way better, and the alien is smart.
Yeah.
The original version of the game, they had such a problem because they made the alien
way too smart.
Oh yeah, it was just murder.
It was just murder.
Can't do anything. Yeah. The alien would trick you and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Pretend to go away and be like, oh, it's safe to go under this huge hole.
But yeah, that's 2137 because the game is about Ripley's daughter,
Amanda Ripley,
trying to find her. Yes, exactly. So then in 2179, Ripley gets rescued, right?
Yeah.
Because she was in hypersleep for 57 years.
Oh yeah, for a long time.
And then in 2181. She's taken to the station, that's when she wakes up and she's briefed about her situation and all this. Because she was in a coma for 4 fucking years.
Yeah, and that's in Aliens.
Yeah. And then that's exactly, that's in Aliens. When she wakes up, yes. And then they go to Hadley's Hope, which is back at LV 237? 237?
237? That sounds right. Might be wrong.
Oh no!
If we're wrong, let us know.
Yeah, we're probably wrong.
We're probably wrong. It's fine.
Yeah, and find out what Aliens, Alien 3, and and then 2184, which is only a year after Aliens.
Yeah.
Alien 3 occurs, and 2386. Ripley is resurrected through Joss Whedon bullshit, and the events of resurrection occur in 2434. So LV what?
LV 2023.
2023.
Wait.
223?
223.
LV 223
LV 223
is Alien
1.
Alien 1. And then that's the same place that they go to in Aliens.
Yeah.
It's just Hadley's Hope is the name
It's
of
just
the...
a lot, and they've established kind of winning. Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yeah. Well...
But after that...
So what I was saying is in 2434, that's when Alien Resurrection happens, and they end up on Earth. And then there's like some book that's after that, but it's not even in the timeline here. Yeah. But other than that, like that's pretty much the whole thing. Because
have you heard that Colonial Marines is still technically part of the canon?
The canon,
yeah. And which pretty much negates Alien 3 and Resurrection because Hicks is still alive.
Yeah, there's a bunch of shit
and
that's
Newt
in.
Is still alive.
There's a bunch of shit that's in. That's like in the games that's not considered canon, and AVP is not considered canon. No. Neither of those, and I don't know, man. It's kind of weird the way that they've treated it. You know, it's much like the Star Wars universe.
You kind of pick and choose what you want to be for your personal alien experience.
It really is.
Yeah.
So I do want to touch on the games really quick. Because I mean, part of the reason that I really got into Alien in general, when we were both kids, you know, I remember, I mean, because we weren't alive when the original Alien hit.
No.
But we were both around when Aliens hit.
Aliens came out,
And do you remember the like badass line of toys that they had?
Oh, dude, and that's the thing is I actually got into the toys
exactly
and knew about the toys before I ever saw any of these movies because Aliens actually came out
87,
86.
Okay,
yeah. So I mean, I was just then born. So
absolutely,
But you know we grew older, and there's this like toy line that was awesome. And the first toy that I ever got was actually a Apone.
Oh yeah,
yeah, dude.
Yeah,
that was like the one that I was just like, yay, this one. And it was like I don't think I ever got any of the other toys. I just had Apone.
See, I definitely had a couple of the you know, the aliens. Here, I'm looking up the line right now just to see what we got. Yeah, okay, so this is so cool. Okay, so yeah, I had the gorilla alien and the scorpion alien.
Oh, nice.
But there's a bull alien, a queen face hugger, a flying alien queen. I had that flying alien queen. It had big giant wings. Yeah. Rhino alien, alien queen, panther alien, snake alien, killer crab alien, mantis alien. I had the mantis too. Yeah, and all of them are unique. And it was going off the context of like being able to, you know, take its form based on the prey. Yeah, what gestates it.
What it gestates in.
So, and then as far as heroes, you had Ripley, Hicks, Apone, Drake, Bishop, O'Malley, Hudson, Vasquez, and Atax. Yeah. And, you know, like, they're cool, but at the same time, you start looking at like the gear they have, and you're like, they didn't have this gear.
No, they didn't have any
in the
yeah.
You know, like it, like okay, Drake, he's got a heavy gun. Okay, that's right, right?
Yeah.
Hicks has got all this like rocket arm bullshit, and like, come on, man, you know.
Doesn't Apone have like, you know, I call it the Boba Fett like launcher on the back?
It looks like he's got some weird shit on his arm.
Yeah,
I can't really tell though.
Yeah, something like big rocket launcher, and he's wearing like a yellow wife beater. That says,
he's
like
definitely wearing
something like that. Yeah, or no bugs or something.
No bugs.
Yeah.
And then they have the power loader and all this.
Power
but
loader.
So the same as me, you got into it because of these really cool
introduction to Aliens was the toys.
Which, by the way, they've already announced, like the last Toy Fair, that they're going to remake these toys.
Of those specific ones?
In like a collector's super detail version. So they're going to be like in the $20-$30 range, but they're not going to be terrible. But if there's one or two of those.
My little child's
and
heart.
I want to say Apone is going to be one of the first ones that they do, man.
Please.
Yeah.
Please let that happen.
Yeah, like have you seen the Star Wars Black figures, like the special ones,
those are super cool.
The high quality, that kind of thing. So anyway, so the toys, I remember when I was a kid, there was like this event going on at like a Kmart or something where it was some kind of Christmas what they call it, shopping spree event for like a radio station, and basically you got to run and grab one toy and then come back, you know, and so we entered into the event, and our names, or my name, was drawn, and I got to do it, and I just ran right to this alien aisle, and I picked up that mantis alien. And I was like, this is definitely the thing I want. Because when I was a kid, I always picked the most wild monster. You know, Blanca was my character. Like, you know, I just like all the time. You know, had to get the weird monster thing. Yeah. So, and that was my very first, you know, look into it, and then I remember for Super Nintendo, I played both, you know, Alien 3 and Alien vs. Predator.
Yeah, which Super Nintendo.
Alien 3 is brutal hard, but it's a really good game. And then Alien vs. Predator.
That one was on NES too.
It was just more fleshed out on the Super Nintendo. But it was fairly, you know, decent on the NES.
On the NES. I remember, I don't think I ever actually played that game, but I do remember a lot of my friends being like, "This is brutally hard."
Oh yeah,
yeah.
See, like a lot of the earlier games came out like on the weird PCs, like the MSX and the Amstrad and stuff like that. This Aliens arcade game, that was the one with the gun. That was super cool, fucking amazing. Didn't play that. Alien 3.
We didn't play it. It doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist at all. Well, it was the Predator games. So. And then Alien vs. Predator for the Super Nintendo, like I was talking about. But there was an Alien vs. Predator game for the arcade. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Developed by Capcom.
Is that that's the beat 'em up?
That's the beat 'em up. And it's a CPS2 game, so it looks like Cyberbots and Marvel vs. Capcom, or Capcom versus, or I'm sorry, X-Men versus Street Fighter.
Capcom versus Street.
Man, there's so many verses. They've versed so many.
They've versed so many.
Man, and then there's
Capcom's just always picking fights, man.
Yeah. Alien Trilogy was a hard game on PlayStation. I remember that. I really don't remember whether I liked it or not, though. So then there were the Alien vs. Predator PC games, right?
Okay.
Those were so good, especially just for the time. Like being able to play with the alien and run on walls and climb on the ceiling and see in the dark and all that. And then the Predator had all the super nasty weapons.
Yeah.
But but you're just alone. Yeah, that's just you.
Yeah, that's it.
But the Marines played just like a regular shooter.
Yeah.
So if you wanted that, you could still play that. Let's see. Yeah, and there was a bunch of versions of Alien vs. Predator, and I've only played a handful of them, but the ones I played, loved them, you know?
Heck yeah.
Let's see. Predator Concrete Jungle was...
okay.
It's okay.
Okay. That's alright.
Yeah, the Aliens Extermination, I did play that. That's another gun game for the arcade.
Yeah.
Really great. Alien vs. Predator Requiem for the mobile. Ooh, no. Let's just not even talk about that. Man, I know that there was an Alien strategy game at one point, and I'm trying to figure out whether that was a real,
like an SPF kind of,
like a RTS,
that's what it.
Like StarCraft kind of deal. Yeah. But I wonder whether that was a mod.
Wasn't that just the Zerg campaign on?
Yeah, pretty much.
On
yeah.
StarCraft, wasn't it? Isn't that just an alien?
And here's our favorite, Colonial Marines.
Man.
Just not good, you know.
Just so.
And Alien Isolation, Alien versus Pinball.
Man, that pinball game's banging. I don't know why you're making that sour face.
Well, I think they just
pinball.
They just eat the pinballs.
Oh.
If they reverses them, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah, with is the plunger just the second mouth for the Xenomorph?
Okay, so first off, Alien Covenant has an arcade game that I haven't gotten to play, and I bet that's dope.
Yeah, dope.
And there's apparently an Alien Descent VR game.
We'll have to play those and talk about them on the video game podcast that we've started doing. By the way, guys, we started doing a video game podcast.
Which, from now on, will probably also be videoed.
We'll probably also be videoed like this. We're still working all that out. Eventually, that'll be up. We'll let you know when that happens. But yeah, man. Well,
let's start getting into these.
You want to
films.
get into these movies?
Yeah.
All right. In 1979, the first Alien was released. Directed by Ridley Scott, starring Sigourney Weaver. Let me get down. It was like, yeah, starring Sigourney Weaver. Everybody else, yeah, who knows?
Well, I really like what's his name?
Ian Holm.
Oh, of course, Ian Holm.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. No, Tom Skerritt actually.
Tom Skerritt.
Yeah, and John Hurt. Like both of them are awesome.
Yep.
Because I mean, Tom Skerritt's the guy that was in like
that's Dallas in the this movie. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's the the guy.
No. That's Kane. You're
That's
You're thinking
Kane?
about John Hurt. John Hurt's the one that actually.
Yeah,
had
that's
the
what I
chest
meant. John,
burster.
I got those.
Yeah, but John Hurt.
Yeah. Because John Hurt's
amazing.
Yeah, man, I love John Hurt.
Love John Hurt. He was a doctor for all you Doctor Who fans.
Yeah, like some of these other ones.
One movie.
Some of the other movies he's been in kind of elude me, but at the moment. But yeah, John Hurt's been awesome. Oh, 1984. There you go. That's one of the.
There we go.
Yeah.
That's the name.
I was really trying to think of it without looking it up, but yeah. So what's the most striking thing about the original Alien to you?
The original, man, man, it's got to be the tone.
The tone's
like the tone is extremely different than any other Alien film. A lot of that's due to the fact that just about everyone has had a different director. But even bringing Ridley Scott back in for the prequels, it doesn't have those. Still don't have that same.
They don't
like. Darkness and tension and just kind of edge of your seat, just when's it gonna pop out kind of thing.
I also think one of the biggest faults to every other movie, and that includes Aliens to me, is that the practical effects in the original Alien are spot on perfect every bit of the time.
They are. They're. I don't know. I feel like the actual Alien is a little stiff. It's a lot stiffer.
I feel you
than previous.
Well, than future, you mean?
Or than future.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got prequel
but I mean,
mind.
1979.
Yeah. No. I mean, for the time, it's absolutely phenomenal, and you definitely lit it and filmed it in a way
and that's,
to make to make it look a lot better than it probably should have. Honestly, because I mean, you're looking at like this is a B movie, especially for this time.
At the time, he didn't have a whole lot of funding. He didn't have a whole name behind him,
and it was. I mean, the premise was essentially like monster in space kills a bunch of people.
Because I mean, the first one is a monster movie.
Yeah, and I mean, it's
wholeheartedly.
It's a B movie with like a big studio budget behind it because I mean, they went over budget, like in this, and then they went and filmed in what's that studio? In London, the James Bond studio. I think Star Wars filmed on that soundstage too. Anyways, but yeah, so
ILM?
pretty much Star Wars came out.
Is it ILM? Industrial Light and Magic?
No, it's not that.
Because that hadn't been made yet. I guess.
Soundstage that I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
Well, never mind. We'll move on.
Okay.
Moving on.
Yeah.
But like, what was the point I was so like because Star Wars came out and sci-fi just blew up at that point and pretty much everybody was kind of grasping at straws. It's like, what do we have that's science fiction? And Aliens kind of came up. Really interesting story. Have you ever seen Dark Star?
Yeah.
The John Carpenter John Carpenter early movie. This was Dan O'Bannon, the writer for Alien, actually worked on that movie with John Carpenter, and said pretty much, he's like, man, I want to do this movie again as a horror and not just as a pseudo dark comedy. Yeah. And so that's where the idea for Alien really came from.
Oh, okay.
Interesting stuff. Ripley, the character Ripley, was of course originally a man.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It was written as a guy, which I think really plays well with how Sigourney Weaver actually played him, because I don't think they really changed any of the dialogue. They just said, "Okay, Ripley's a girl, or Ripley's a woman now." And then
Well, I mean, it's also not like she's saying anything that's
I mean, it could be either or.
Yeah,
like all of the characters could be either or.
It's not like she has a line where she's like, "No, I'm going to go take my penis and take a piss."
I gotta go pee standing up.
Yep.
But I think that really does, like, because when you talk about like strong female characters,
Ripley's immediately one of the ones.
Immediately the first one that I think of. Honestly, I think she like really.
Yep.
Embodies
She's a badass.
That trope.
She is
to a degree, and it's not even like, you think of strong female characters, and like a lot of people are just like, well, how much shit can they get kicked out of them, kind of thing.
Man,
it's not even,
Ripley gets everything taken away from her repeatedly.
It's not even about
dude.
that, though. It's just like, it's this strength in adversity.
Oh, yeah.
Because she's still very much like, a scared human being with this, god-awful creature chasing her.
Yeah.
And is, she's terrified.
Yeah.
In the first movie, especially towards the end when she's saying, my lucky star."
Yeah.
At the end and stuff like that, and like, but she stays calm through it, and she pretty much, like, in both the first two films and even the third one, she is able to just deal with the situation, and I think that projects a lot more like inner strength than just a woman that can get punched in the head 20 times. And, like,
who's getting punched in the head 20 times? What movies are you watching where they're punching women in the head 20 times?
I don't know. I'm just trying to make a point.
Is that what that Jennifer Lopez movie Enough is about?
Yeah, pretty much.
She get punched in the head 20 times
in the head,
and she's like,
for
that's
an hour and a half
like,
straight.
Like at 18, she's like, do it again.
Dude, yeah.
He does it 19, one more fucking time, I swear. Enough.
And
then she goes and learns kickboxing.
Yeah,
hits him in the head 20 times.
Yeah, it's just
40 times.
It's actually a gender swapped Rock'em Sock'em Robots movie.
Oh, dude, yeah. Rock'em Sock'em Robot. You mean Real Steel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, the first movie is most definitely a monster flick, right?
Oh, it's it's
and
suspense in space,
and it's that personal, personally overcoming everything against you, because not only is the alien against her, but then also the fucking androids against her.
Oh yeah.
Everything wants to kill her,
which is crazy because you don't even suspect him being
Ian Holm,
an android. Yeah,
man,
Ash,
I tell you what.
all.
Like when he wads up that magazine and tries to choke her with it, that's still one of the most iconic, like, trying to murder somebody scenes that I can think of. Because it's fucked up.
Absolutely no emotion on his face. And it's like, why would you try to kill somebody
that
like
way?
that?
That's a weird ass way to do it. Yeah. Somebody didn't teach this robot. You should have shown him more no one Charles Bronson.
Murder into this robot. Is obviously
watch Die Hard.
That's how you murder people.
Yeah. Man, well, I guess that film hadn't been made yet, but it had been made because they were in space. Yeah. So
did you break your head?
The thing that's always been a big call to me with any of the Alien films, and I feel like Alien, Prometheus, and Alien Covenant share this more than any of the rest of them.
Right.
Is the influence from H.R. Giger.
Yeah.
Because Giger's always been there in the concept in general. They've always done stuff,
Yeah.
But the first film, Prometheus and Covenant, pretty much live by the standards of this is the way the fucking art looks. This is the way everything looks.
What's his big art book, the Necronomicon?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Not the one from Evil Dead. Like
his Necronomicon.
His Necronomicon.
He made his own.
And it's
and it's dope.
It is really good. That's some damn good artwork.
Yeah. And
yeah, because a lot of...
Because you know what I mean? Like, the other films really got away from that. I mean, I would almost say that Alien Resurrection did a better job than Aliens and Alien 3 with keeping some Giger.
To the
yeah.
Giger.
Yeah. But, of course, the alien always looks like the alien. The xenomorph always is the xenomorph that he designed, you know? And like we've talked about with the Hodorowski things, a lot of these designs, like for instance in Prometheus, that large building with the face at the top of it, you know, that was originally planned for Dune. And they just used it because it still fit in the style. Because I mean, you know, hell, for all we know, the xenomorph itself could have been part of Dune.
Probably.
You know?
Dan O'Bannon, the writer, was actually working in France with Hodorowski on Dune. So there's another connection, you know, to that.
The best. It's always the best,
Interesting stuff.
And so, establishing that that's a horror flick.
Yeah.
We now got to move on to Aliens, which is an action flick.
It is 100% an action. I mean, it's James Cameron, like early James Cameron.
Coming off the coattails of Terminator.
Immediately off the coattails of Terminator, which is really interesting because, I mean, that's really the only, like, big film to his name. And it's like, you watch the original Terminator and it's such a low-budget production. Like, it is, but it's still so good. Like, it's still really good.
I think one of the only things that's just obviously shitty is some of the end Terminator parts. You know, they're just like, this is a little cheesy for the time now, but you buy it. And then the fake head when he's like digging in his eye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Right in the mirror.
But I feel like Aliens did a much better job of being convincing overall.
Oh, yeah.
Than
100%.
Terminator. Yeah.
Well, and
he had a little bit more of a budget.
He had a little bit more of a budget. He had a little bit more, or I guess a little bit more time to do it.
And it's an established franchise. Right. You know?
Yeah.
It's something that people already understood. Okay, this is Alien. Yeah. We know what's up with this thing.
But it very much has that, like, James Cameron feel. And I honestly have to say that Aliens is probably my favorite one. It's definitely the first one I ever saw.
Yeah. See, and for me, the first Alien is my favorite of the bunch.
So. And I still really love it. And like I said, you know, I would put those two on par, but like you told me before, they can't all be number one. So
They can't.
You know, but I really love, like, the evolution of Ripley as a character.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
In this movie.
Yeah, because, I mean, when she wakes up in Aliens and finds out that she's been asleep for 57...
Yeah.
No. She was in cryosleep for 57, and then she was in a coma for, like, 4 years.
Yeah, and her daughter's dead.
So it's like 61 years. Everyone... Yeah, her daughter had just died. Like... Man, really? Yeah. You know, it's
powerful. It's a powerful setup.
It's like and that's kind of what harkens to, like, the scene in Interstellar when he hits the time loop and then he comes back and learns about, like, his family.
Yeah.
It hits that same note, but of course, you know, in this case, you have Paul Reiser giving you the news, so you're like, "What's up, Matt, about aliens?" You know?
Mad about aliens.
I still think it's hilarious that he's
Paul
in that
Reiser
movie,
should just deliver any kind of bad news. Like, I mean, he's not good at it.
No,
but
he kind of fumbles around with it. Well, you know, you were in a pod, and it was for like 57 years, you know, and now you woke up, you're in a coma, you know, you're fine though, you're fine.
Yeah, you're good. You're good. You're gonna live, I guess. Until we ship you off to this colony.
She's like, I've been asleep for like 61 years. It's like, yeah, you know, 61 years, whatever. It's not a big deal, you know. Just think about buying a couch. You know, I've got a new apartment downtown. You know, blonde lady. You know how it goes.
You still got your cat.
New television show. Yeah, you still got your cat. Look, your cat's fine. Yeah,
your cat's okay.
The cat knows what's up, man. Cat knows what's up. What's the cat's name?
Jonesy.
Mm-hmm.
Love that cat. It's a good cat.
Excuse me.
Yeah, but no, Aliens, like we said before, 1986. Man, I love this movie.
Yeah,
like I do.
Yeah.
The first movie definitely has a lot more suspense, but I think the second one keeps a lot of that suspense, but like kind of it really does up the ante. I mean, because there's more aliens. You find more about found out about the alien culture and like
Yeah.
the way they
Yeah.
interact with each other
And the queen. And,
and
yeah.
the queen
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
there was a lot of new things introduced in this one.
And I like it that
It really is a good sequel because it is an actual evolution
Well,
and not just trying to retread the same grounds.
I like it that, you know, Cameron does that thing that, you know, a lot of directors do where they use specific actors repeatedly, you know,
Yeah.
like Michael Bain, for
Yeah.
instance. You know, and what's her name? I don't see it here. Oh, Jeanette Goldstein.
Jeanette Goldstein,
Yeah, because she's his stepmom in Terminator 2.
Oh,
John Connor's
yeah.
stepmom in Terminator 2.
Yeah.
You know?
When are you coming home?
Yep. What's wrong with Wolfie? Wolfie's just fine. Everyone is dead.
Your parents are dead.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah.
Oh, such a good one. And Bill Paxton really kind of takes the cake in this movie because
Yeah.
he starts out
I know,
as this
man.
really cocky, just kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna, yeah.
Look at my
We're
funky
gonna
hair.
fuck him up, man.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a dumbass Marine.
One-way ticket to hell.
They made him
or, what is it?
the
Elevator to hell. Yeah.
They made him the dumb Marine
Yeah,
stereotype.
but
you
once shit starts hitting the fan, man, he just goes.
know? Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he's gone. He's
Oh, yeah.
gone, man. He's not that cocky individual anymore. And
No,
really
he
kind of
loses
shows
it,
a
yeah.
lot of his
Yeah.
true colors,
Uh-huh.
and he's just like,
Yeah.
game over, man. Game over.
Yeah, but Hicks holds it together.
Oh, Hicks holds it down.
Hicks is a champ, dude.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Right
And-
on par with Ripley in this sense.
And he kind of falls in love with Ripley.
Oh,
you
because
know?
of that, yeah.
Absolutely, because he's like, holy shit, she can hold her own.
Yeah.
I've never seen a lady that's like this that isn't like what's her name?
Yeah, what's her name?
What's her name in the movie?
Vasquez.
Vasquez, yeah. Yeah.
Vasquez.
I know, really. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
She's hot as that character.
Oh,
Totally.
Absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Please kick my ass.
Please.
Oh, man.
I didn't know back muscles could be so goddamn sexy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, but
But it's funny because as you see in Aliens, pretty much the same message gets sent when the alien is identified. Just bring alien back at all cost.
yeah,
Crew is expendable.
Crew's expendable. Yeah.
Man, come on, Wayland.
Yeah.
Come on. Which okay, so by the way, the timing of the Wayland company, right?
Yeah.
Since so it seems like it's Wayland only in Prometheus. After that, it's Wayland-Yutani.
Weyland-Yutani, yeah.
Probably what happened is when Wayland left, and they were like, okay, well, your major shareholder just left the planet. Guess all the other shareholders were probably like, well, we've got this other clause, blah, blah, blah. We take major stock share. Now we can sell the company, so they merge with
Right.
Yutani.
Yeah.
And Yutani seems to be, because like Wayland had a very specific individual goal.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted to meet our creators. He was one of those
exactly.
guys that was like, no, I will do more than the average person. I will
That's
go out
right.
and I will find why we exist. Ask
Yeah.
the questions. You know,
Ask the questions.
Yutani, on the other hand, seems like their only real goal is to fucking get these aliens.
Get these aliens,
So-
use them for like military purposes. Yeah.
And if you think of it from that direction, they've known about the aliens since Covenant.
Oh yeah. Yeah. At least.
At least,
Yeah.
if not understanding some of it from what happened with the Prometheus incident.
Right.
I do feel like maybe a message got back.
Yeah.
But at that point, they still hadn't captured one. They still
it's-
don't have one. And it took until Aliens for them to be like, oh man, there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
We can get one.
We can get a queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Man, that there's a scene when Newt and Ripley are in that little medical bay area.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what's his name? Anyways, the suit, the
Yeah.
business guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, lets loose the face huggers into that room. That is such a tense and just horrifying scene. And
It really is.
Yeah. And like the way a lot of the practical effects that were
They're
made
so good, dude.
for that.
Yeah.
A lot of that with the face huggers jumping is actually was actually filmed in reverse. So they would, so it would be like,
they'd uncoil it and pull them off of them.
yeah, pull it off the things, and then they, when they were editing, they would reverse it and then speed up the film, so it looked like, and it was a lot of different shots, like that they,
that
put
makes
together.
a lot of sense, man.
I mean, that just shows. I mean, especially like early James Cameron, just how innovative he had to be to pull off a lot of that.
You got to respect those guys that could do a lot of this stuff before digital filmmaking.
For real.
You know?
Yeah.
Because it's much like digital music. It's one of those things that nowadays when you see somebody doing something, you're like, okay, what are you using? A computer? Well, it's cool. It's not that it's not.
Yeah.
But it's not as respectable as when you
loses-
did it by hand. When you had to do it the hard way.
Well, I think it
you know?
loses just some of that magic.
It does.
Man.
It really
Because,
does.
I mean, because when
you
you can just hit a few keys and make something happen, it's not as... Like you said, man, it's just not as interesting, and it doesn't have like that tangible quality.
Yeah,
you know,
it doesn't have the craft put into it. You know,
yeah, that a lot of those practical effects had.
The practical effects made it feel like the movie had more love.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of like The Thing, which you were talking about before.
Yeah,
you know, The Thing's another one of those. Yeah, John Carpenter.
Yeah,
there you go. You know, and it's one of those like when you look at the way that the mangled bodies look and everything, they're just so striking because and the lighting's never fucked up because it's in the room with them,
right?
You know, that's
you have the correct shadows and
which, by the way, that brings us to our third film here, Alien 3, where I think the lighting, it's the first time where you see the alien in poor lighting and you go, wait,
yeah, well,
what the
we were
fuck's going
talking
on?
about that because I mean there's definitely a guy in a suit.
Some of the time.
And that's where I think the alien looks the best, of course.
You
like
told me
always.
that the running away scenes and stuff like that are
the
from
scenes where you see a full alien.
Yeah,
that's not CG.
It's claymation?
No, it's not claymation. It's like a form of motion capture. Essentially what they did is they created a little puppet.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they had like 4 different guys, 2 guys working, or 3 different guys. One guy working the tail and the head, and one guy working the front feet, one guy working the back feet. And then they put it behind or in front of a green screen and then just puppeteered the actions and then put that into the movie. And if you look at those scenes, you can actually see the outline of the green screen.
You can, yeah, and the coloration, because
and
that's another thing I was talking about
Yeah.
how the lighting is different between the two things.
And this is actually David Fincher's very first movie, which...
Yeah, that blows me away.
Don't get me wrong, I like Alien 3. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
the story
Yeah, no, I do
behind
too.
it. I think the
I do
actors
too.
did a great job. I think David Fincher doesn't get enough credit for how well this movie turned out, considering all of the production problems and the fact that he literally went into principal photography without a script whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like he was he and the writing team were writing the script as they were filming. Like, and that is impressive as shit. Like to see how this movie turned out. Now, he was having a lot of problems with the studio. I think you can honestly say that the first 3 Alien movies were pretty much made out of strife.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
Because there was always this kind of push and pull between the director and the studio. I mean, Ridley Scott dealt with it on the first one. James Cameron dealt with it in certain ways on the second one.
And David Finch
probably
dealt with it the worst.
Dealt with it the worst because he was such a new director.
Well,
he hadn't proven himself at that point.
And reading stuff about the original concept, like the whole wooden planet thing and the whole, like, everybody's a monk, like, way more than the way it was. Because, I mean, it was a prison. They really wanted it to be more of a monastery initially. Right, you know?
Exactly.
But still, I mean, it kind of worked out the way it is. And like I said, love it. Love that movie.
I am kind of like as cool as the original idea for the film sounds. I am really glad that they didn't go with it. the more I think
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like, the more and more I think about it, I was just like, a wooden planet would be kind of
weird.
That'd be kind of weird. That'd be kind of hard to believe.
I
know what I mean?
when I hear some old wooden planet shit, I'm like, what is this, a Terry Gilliam film?
Right.
You know? Like,
Right.
I'd buy it if it was a little wacky.
Yeah.
So,
But what's something that stands out the most in your mind from Alien 3? Like, what's something that
it's the tone. It's the tone. It's again the same thing that you said about the first film.
Uh-huh.
Because the tone in this one is so brown and dingy, and it's
Yeah.
so depressing. Because like the
Yeah.
first film is more exciting, and then it's terrifying, and
Yeah.
it's this running from a monster thing. This is more just like wholly oppressive, all
Yeah.
in all, you know. And I mean,
Yeah,
you know,
well, you're constantly getting beat down by the cinematography,
Yeah.
by the characters, by the lighting, like by the
Yeah.
sets themselves. You're just constantly oppressed.
It's
and,
dirty. It's
Yeah.
it's claustrophobic. You know,
Yeah.
everything feels like you know, it's either gonna like kill you or give you tetanus or pinch your fingers or like
Seven from space.
Yes, yeah, everything's bad. Everything's all
Everything's bad.
you know, grimy. Yeah, and that to me is the most striking thing about Alien 3. But you know, Ripley's struggle in Alien 3 is much different in this one because she's being oppressed not only by the alien itself,
Yeah.
the fact that she understands that she has one fucking growing in her,
Oh,
and
yeah.
she's just, you know, oh no, at any
Oh, and
moment
she's
I'm
done at this point.
Yeah, she's clocked out, man.
Over
She
it.
is, and like Dylan is kind of clocked out as well.
yeah.
You know, so he's all kind of on her side, but at the same time he's not on her side because
Yeah.
he's for himself, and that's
Oh, of
it.
course.
And I love that part when they start arguing with each other. But anyway, so you know, when it starts out, you know, Tywin Lannister rescues her from the ship, and
Yeah,
you know,
Tywin Lannister.
yeah, and like.
Yeah. He who cares? It's the doctor. It's Andrews.
Yeah,
but
that's right.
he will forever from now on
Yeah.
be referred to as.
Oh yeah,
Tywin
he's
Lannister.
Tywin Lannister from now on. Yeah, who I'm sad to see him die. You know, I mean,
Oh,
he
100%.
shouldn't have done what he did. But you
No.
know, we're not talking about that. I love it that there's like this bug infestation on the planet that like
Oh, I'm
everything's
sorry.
covered
He's,
in locusts
he's
and crickets.
He's Selmans.
Clements.
Clements.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Clements.
I read
Jonathan
good.
Clements. It's all right.
Yeah.
Um,
yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, and Clements is a super cool character, which Ripley seems like she kind of gets attached to.
A little bit.
And then he dies.
Yeah.
You know, so that sucks for her as well. So even the one thing that she kind of has right there, dead. When she wakes up, hey, my friend Hicks, dead. Oh, man, the little girl I saved, dead.
yeah, dead.
Where's my cat?
Cat dead.
It's
Oh,
like,
man.
what? You know, everything.
That cat survived 2 movies.
2 movies.
Dead.
2 movies and the cat died. Yeah. And it's just so immediately it's oppressive. It's got this far more oppressive feeling than any of the other films.
Oh, 100%.
You know, it's like just grinding through gears the whole time. And then she's like, I mean, of course, then there's the fear of her being raped because she's the only fucking woman. And she's the
Yeah.
only woman that any of these people have seen in so many years, you know?
Years.
It just...
I mean, towards the end of the movie, she only has one person on her side, and that's Dylan.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
yeah.
by the end of the movie, he is the only one actually supporting
Which
her.
Dylan's so cool, man.
Oh, super awesome.
Yeah, he was always kind of stuck in my head from this
Yeah,
one.
Definitely.
I like the warden a lot. I like his character because he's a little wormy bastard.
Yeah.
You know, he's just in it for himself, but he still like flexes his authority muscle when he has to.
Well, I like it that he's making this huge speech about we will have order. There's blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And then, like in the cafeteria with all the prisoners and like trying to set them all straight, and then all of a sudden, bam!
Yep.
Alien get.
Yep. Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And of course Lance Henriksen coming back and being the
Bishop.
original Bishop,
Yeah, Bishop 2.
which is super cool.
Yeah.
And him trying to reason with Ripley. But I feel like Alien 3 is a very appropriate ending to the Alien
I think
saga.
and it was
It was
supposed to be.
It was supposed to
the
be, and it felt like the ending, man. And it does not need to go past that point.
It really
doesn't.
Didn't. And if you're like, I mean, if you're worried about the canon whatsoever, I mean, you can really watch the first 3 and just pretend like the other ones don't exist, which you probably should with this next one coming up. You're probably, I mean,
yeah, it's the most disappointing.
It's really bad.
Oh, Joss Whedon, why'd you do this?
Let's get into Alien Resurrection. Don't know if this was as bad for you guys as it was for us, but this is just every one of these films up until this point has had a completely different tone. Alien was really more suspenseful, definitely a lot more horror.
Yes.
Aliens, action movie. The third one
is almost more of a psychological thriller.
Because
guess what? It's David Fincher.
Yeah, because
it's a psychological thriller. Yeah, he just loves to fuck with your mind. Yeah.
Hey, David Fincher, we love you. Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
But this one, let's see, was directed by Jean-Pierre Jeunet.
Yeah, and him and his brother had a lot to do with what was that other movie that I was thinking of? Man, I can't think of it right now. But yeah, Jean-Pierre Jeunet. Yeah.
But he I know he did City of Lost Children.
Yeah,
Genet.
that's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
City
of Lost Children's awesome.
Yeah. And was written, of course, by Josh Whedon, which I don't hate Josh Whedon. I really don't, guys. He's done some really good stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't like the way that he uses jokes. This is I just really don't.
The words he writes, I hate them.
I don't
That's
like
all.
those. Well, I mean, and it can be done well in a series that works with it. But okay, so here's the problem that I have. Okay,
you mean with Resurrection?
Yeah, with Resurrection, and really kind of Josh Whedon's writing style to a degree. He says that the jokes are there to relieve the tension, which I understand. Comedic. A comedic break in a really tense movie. Throwing in a joke or something like that. But it's a constant barrage of quips, and this is something that I found that just really irritates me about a lot of movies nowadays. Is that where there should be either a character building moment or a good action scene or maybe a little bit of tension building, or some kind of drama, they instead throw in a quip or a joke.
I'm not taking this seriously.
And it completely breaks immersion.
I agree.
And that is what I think is really the biggest problem with this, with Alien Resurrection specifically. Because
the dialogue falls flat.
The dialogue falls flat, and none of the characters are as unique or as grounded. The story and the idea and the idea behind the characters are really interesting,
like the mercenary team.
Are really interesting and really intriguing, and the the cloning of Ripley and kind of giving her the kind of alien. Attitude, and she's got the alien attitude.
It's almost like Species, to a degree.
Kind of like a Species. But I mean, so many concepts and so many good things could have happened. But the dialogue just does not do it justice.
I mean, even people that are wonderful with their exposition, Sigourney Weaver. Winona
Ryder.
Winona Ryder's okay. I'm thinking Ron Perlman.
You're thinking Perlman.
But so at the time, the Genet brothers and Guillermo del Toro were kind of going back and forth as far as what they were doing. They were kind of stealing each other's actors, so that's part of the reason that what's his name is in
Ron Perlman.
that Ron Perlman's in Resurrection.
And City of Lost Children.
And so, exactly. It's just one of these like, oh, well, I'm gonna use him. Well, I'm gonna use him. Well, I'm gonna
Right.
use him. Del Toro had made Kronos, and then this
Right.
and Blade 2, and Blade 2 had a very similar setup as far as the mercenary thing. So it almost felt like they were playing off of the same concept, you know, just this like over the top late 90s, action, blah, blah, blah. And it's just kind of a trope that happened for a little while there.
A lot of the movies kind of took the same ideas and kind of ran with them until they just ran
I
into
did
the
really
ground.
like that whole the wheelchair had the guns on it thing. That was cool.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, there are concepts and there are actually really good scenes in this movie. Like when
absolutely.
they're in the underwater kitchen.
Oh, it's so cool.
It's awesome. It's great, and it really
and that was good use of CG, to be honest.
Oh, and it was fantastic use of CG, fantastic use of action, and excellent drama building because nobody can talk.
Yeah.
You actually can build tension because you're not trying to tell a goddamn joke every 5 seconds. You know?
Yeah, it's there's a course of time there. I want to say it's like 40 years or something between when she is taken out of the molten metal, and then when she actually exists,
which is really weird. It's like she fell into molten metal. How did they?
Joss Whedon doesn't like science.
Movie logic, man.
He doesn't like science, man. He's not a fan of it. Plus, this was in 1997, and nobody gave a fuck about whether it was scientifically possible.
Yeah,
I mean, now we have people. Neil deGrasse Tyson that pick apart like gravity and shit like that for the most part is for real there, and they're still going, man, the orbit wouldn't be like that at all. But we're a lot closer than we used to be, man. Okay, look at shit like this now. Okay, so Ripley isn't clone number 8, and she's the only one that came intact with everything.
With an actual alien queen inside.
That's
of her.
right. Yeah. Which I love the beginning when they're taking it out, and that guy who was the bad guy in Highlander 2, that's the doctor with his shitty, not real updo haircut.
Yeah.
He's all.
You're not talking about all Wormtongue, are you?
Yeah, Wormtongue. Yeah, it is the same guy, isn't it?
Same dude.
Oh man, yeah, old Wormtongue.
Old Wormtongue.
He's so dirty in that movie. Wash your hair, greasy man.
Okay, so this.
I'm one to talk.
I mean, the Lord of the Rings trilogy is just full of dirty people.
They're so dirty.
Somehow he comes off as just
dirtier.
The dirtiest.
How are you even dirtier?
He's just so slimy in that movie. But...
he must be a king. Why do you say that?
He's got shit all over him. But yeah, no. Old Wormtongue, the doctor dude.
Yeah, man, the doctor dude. Yeah. I kind of hate this movie. I'll just put it that way. Like, it's not the worst movie ever, and it is definitely in the B movie late 90s kind of thing. And there are fun parts about it, and it's really like it's okay, but compared to every other alien movie, it is fucking shit.
Hands down, the worst.
The worst. And man.
Well, like I said, man, it's like.
Dude, that buddy cop bullshit at the end of the thing, that's how it felt, was like a buddy cop movie when they're sitting there like, oh, well, Earth's a shithole, I guess we'll deal with this. Look at this.
See, and I don't think that was actually in the original theatrical release.
Well, that makes sense because it was shitty.
Yeah,
but you watched the extended version.
I watched the extended version that had that...
the weird intro with the bug on the...
instead of, showing all
I actually liked the intro, the theatrical intro better.
Yeah, the theatrical intro is way better.
It seems like that movie, the theatrical version, was actually better.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Yeah, and they just added some bonus shit just to appease the studio.
Got
to do a re-release, man. I bet that was for like the quadrilogy when the DVD version came out. That might have been what that was. I don't know, though. That's just my guess.
I definitely agree with you on this being the worst alien movie.
Bottom of the barrel, man.
It's even really hard for me to say this is even a good movie whatsoever. Like I said, there are good
fun
ideas.
At times.
It's
fun. And it's as good as a sci-fi movie You know, like Sci-Fi
Yeah.
Channel made for Sci-Fi Channel
Pretty
movie.
much, yeah.
It's
Yeah,
it's on
about
that
as good
level.
As that. It's,
yeah.
it's about as good as a TV movie. Could
TV,
be.
yeah.
Exactly.
Which modern TV movies are a lot better than they used to be. But
Yeah,
I mean,
back
Sci-Fi
in those
Channel though,
days,
Sci-Fi
yeah.
Channel still is Sci-Fi Channel. Okay, yeah.
They're still doing.
What's
their
that?
thing.
What's that channel that Swords watches? Comet.
Oh, Comet.
Comet. Yeah, there you go.
That's actually a really good channel. I
Yeah,
like that
it's
one a
funny.
lot.
Yeah.
Really good old '60s B movies on it.
So,
But no, I think the fact that Jean Genis,
yeah,
the director,
Genet.
Genet, excuse me, actually came out and said, that he intentionally tried to make a dark comedy out of the Alien film, and I think that's really where it started to really go wrong. And
Man, dark comedy just isn't where that shit needs to be. It
really
doesn't need to
isn't.
be there.
It's just, it doesn't fit. It doesn't fit the tone.
It doesn't. It doesn't at all.
Yeah. And I don't know. Like I said, dude, it's really hard for me to like a film, even if the jokes are funny, when it tries to build tension, and it doesn't succeed in that, and then it continues to go further and tries to break the non-tension that it has built by telling a joke that falls flat. It's just something I just cannot get behind.
I don't like the whole Winona Ryder's character being more empathetic than the other previous androids and stuff. Yeah,
like that.
I don't like that. I really don't like the idea that because I mean, okay, there's a reason behind that. Now, of course, it's taken movies that came out after that to really explain it, but that's fine. It's fine.
It's fine.
Okay, because so the David was super empathetic.
Oh, yeah.
Still not as much as her character.
Winona Ryder.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
He was considered to be too human, so that's why they dialed him back, which is why the
we get Ash.
Well, what's the character in Covenant? What's his name? What's
Walter.
Walter. Yeah.
Walter.
Yeah.
Why you get Walter?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
So, because Walter is a dialed back emotionally version of David.
Yeah.
Right? And that was we're talking about hundreds of years, like 300 years before the Winona Ryder, but before Resurrection and the Winona Ryder movie. So I guess we regress, we're stupid, we go back to things, but I still don't think they would have made a robot that was overly emotional like that. Like that immediately just doesn't make sense.
Right.
I don't like it that Ron Perlman plays an idiot because he's good at it, but man, he's so much more than that.
So much.
He's such a
that.
fantastic actor.
Yeah.
And
he could. I believe, given the chance, he could have given a lot
of character
and layers to John or his character that he just wasn't able to. Yeah. Because again, he had to fucking tell jokes. Yeah. The whole goddamn time.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah.
But yeah.
So
practical effects were really good.
Yeah, I thought
this is the first movie that we actually have from this series that implemented CGI.
See, I still don't believe you on that. I'm
telling you,
man, it's just hard for me to believe that some of that isn't CGI in 3. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's just like, wow, really?
Oh, man. We're gonna look it up after this podcast.
Okay.
I'm gonna prove it to you, man.
Okay.
I'm telling you.
But the CG is obvious in Resurrection. Though.
It's obvious.
Definitely.
It's obvious, but it's pretty
it's good
for the time.
It's good.
It's pretty good for the time.
For the most part, it's fine, and the practical is great.
Practical's great.
Yeah, like the Queen practical
looks
great,
awesome.
dude.
The newborn, as disgusting as it is, it actually looks really good.
The concept of her having human DNA, which causes her to have like the human womb and birth things that way, that's a cool idea.
Yeah,
that's good. Good, Joss. Good work.
Good job.
But most of the time,
wasn't executed the way.
Well, so I think it's funny that as soon as the what'd you call it, the
newborn?
The newborn, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
So as soon as the newborn is hatched, it murders the queen.
Oh yeah, 100. Yeah, just slaps it right in the face,
and then it's getting sucked out of that hole, and that's super cool.
Oh, dude, and like the look on its face as it's getting sucked out, kind of
and
just,
the scream,
so mournful. And
yeah, it looks so sad,
that
man.
was beautiful.
Yeah,
that was
well
sad,
done. It was well done. But other than those things,
kind of shit movie.
Kind of
shitty. Anyways, but let's
get back to.
I think we've railed on this one enough. Let's
get back to the good ones.
Let's get back to the good ones. So Prometheus.
Okay, now Prometheus to me is actually my second favorite.
Yeah,
and
I really like Prometheus.
Yeah, to me, Prometheus
Really
and
like
Aliens
Prometheus.
are on the same level.
Okay.
Yeah. So I think
Yeah, I
Alien and then Prometheus and Aliens are right there on
Are
the same
kinda,
level.
yeah.
Just in different directions.
So wait,
Yeah.
they can't all be number one.
They
but
can't.
They can all be number two.
Yes.
Oh, okay. I'm just trying to get. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to make sure my counting is
There can only be number one.
one, two,
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
Okay.
One. Well, you can go 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2,
No, man. That's too many twos. That's too many twos.
Is it too many twos?
It's.
Is it too many twos?
It's too many twos.
You've got too many twos. But yeah, Prometheus is right
It's
there at
really
number
good,
2.
man. And I think originally I thought I had heard that this wasn't supposed to be an Alien prequel.
But man, it's got
originally,
so much
but
going
it's got
for
so
it.
much going for it,
Yeah.
leading to that.
It's hard to believe that at least a lot of it wasn't already
supposed to be for an Alien,
which
for an Alien movie.
again, like I said, they use Giger's art as a main focus for the design, and that's another thing that makes it a lot more like an Alien film.
Well, I think it's really interesting too that instead of going straight, the way that Covenant went, which was where did the xenomorphs actually come from?
Yeah.
They actually took a step back and took something that really wasn't touched on whatsoever from the original movie, The Space Jockey, and built a story around that instead. I love that concept.
Yeah, because the Space Jockey was just it was just there. It was just a set piece.
It was just a guy.
Yeah.
It was just some weird elephant-looking guy.
And then now we have this whole idea of they were actually the seeders, of our society. And this movie, instead of asking where's the alien from, it asked where are we from.
Where are we from? Yeah.
And you can tell Ridley Scott's always kind of, him and James Cameron have always had that kind of cue.
Bigger. There's a bigger story than what they're telling.
Yeah.
Behind the scenes. Yeah, in their heads. I really like that. I wouldn't say more than Ripley.
But you like Shaw?
I love Shaw.
I do too.
I really like Shaw. I think she is a very well-rounded character, and she definitely freaks out a lot more.
Well, but she gets her shit together.
But she gets her shit together real well, and at the same time, I mean, nobody has experienced this at this point. You know, this isn't it wasn't common knowledge in, the first Alien, but this is absolutely new. Human beings have never been out this far in space.
Not at all.
This is a completely
new
world.
By the way, this is Wayland's dream.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which is why he becomes a stowaway on the ship. I guess if you could say that. I mean, there's a crew taking care of him, but it's his fucking ship.
None of the original or the main crew know about
except
this.
for Charlize.
No, I don't think she knew that he was actually there.
What
The
hell
only
was her
one that
name
knew
in
was
this?
David. Meredith.
Yeah. Well,
Man, you know what my Vickers. Meredith
Vickers.
Vickers. Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what my absolute favorite scene of
If you
want to
get laid, Vickers, you just gotta ask.
Yeah.
That's my favorite one.
That one. That's how you tell a joke.
Yeah, I know.
That's how you tell a joke in a movie.
Yeah.
It builds.
Yeah, because I know she looks
those characters.
My room, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he turns around. If you can't be with the one you love, love the one you with. Love the one you with. I love Idris Elba's character.
Crosby,
and
man.
That is a good, like I said, dude. That's a good example of telling a joke that isn't just there for comedy's sake.
Yeah.
It actually builds that character.
Yeah,
it
absolutely.
actually gives that character more of a personality than what he had before that scene.
I think that Prometheus has its flaws.
Definitely.
But the especially the core cast, they definitely have a lot more refinement of those individual characters.
Yeah. Well, it feels a lot like that core crew feels a lot more like the core crew or the crew in Alien.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Absolutely,
In just their camaraderie and how they interact with each other and.
So Janek
the captain,
he's
old cap.
I know,
old
man.
captain.
He's such a good captain. He's
fantastic.
got that, and I don't think his accent's too cheesy, and especially considering that he's British.
Yeah.
And then Charlize as Vickers is great, and Michael
fantastic.
Fassbender as David, which you get introduced to fairly early on.
Yeah.
Pretty much right after the scenes on Earth. David is kind of. I mean, not kind of. David is the main character of
100%.
both
Well,
Prometheus and Covenant.
Oh, and he's absolutely the standout character in both of these, both of those prequel movies. Like 100%. Michael Fassbender does such a great job of like just playing an android. Playing a being that is so close to human. But still falls on that uncanny valley line,
Which there's another thing about David I'd like to talk about, but I'm going to wait until we talk about Covenant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But I absolutely, I love David characters.
Well, dude, Guy Pearce as Peter Wayland is great,
100%,
and you kind of can't tell that it's him, which is part of the reason I like it that they go back in Covenant.
And show him in the beginning of Covenant. Because I didn't know who that guy was. To tell you the truth, I thought that was just Michael Fassbender when I first saw the movie. Well, I thought that was just Michael Fassbender with a bunch of makeup on. I was like, two characters for some reason.
No, it's
but
Guy
I was
Pearce.
very wrong.
Yeah. So, but to be honest, Milburn and Fifield.
Oh yeah,
I don't really like. Yeah, I don't like them. I don't like them.
You don't like those two guys?
I think that they were kind of cool characters at the beginning of it, but okay, they to me are the biggest flaws of the film because the geologist uses his little droids to then map the tunnels of this thing,
and then they get lost,
and then he gets lost. How does he, the one with the map, get lost?
Exactly.
Come on. Okay, and then secondly, the biologist is the one that fucks with the alien.
Yeah, he tries to touch it. Why are you touching things?
You know this isn't good.
Why are you touching things?
Come on. You've got to know this isn't good. Even if you just look at it for what it is, kind of looks like a serpent. I'm going to go ahead and say,
maybe
space snake isn't good. Space snake's not good. Not
at all.
No, I don't want to have anything. You take a picture of it and you go somewhere.
Yeah, that's right.
And you look at that picture. Yeah, that's all you got to do. As a biologist, he should be the one warning other people, going, "Hey, guys, don't touch that. We don't know what that is."
Well, and there was an argument. A lot of people don't like these movies because apparently, of course, the crews are just dumb.
Yeah,
what I mean, and really, it's just those two characters.
That's the only two that are dumb, and they screw it up for everybody.
Oh, they screw it up real bad, bad. Screw the pooch. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
I realized that there had to be somebody that died first.
Yeah.
And spread the infection and so on and so forth, and actually created the monsters and whatnot. I realized that had to happen. Yeah, these guys are just dumb. It's borderline unbelievable.
Yeah, it's those two specifically. Yeah. The rest of them perfectly fine. Yeah, and that's really the crux of the problems. I mean, like there are other small things like you could have ran out of the way when the big giant circle was running at you. Like you could have done that. That's fine, but. It's just a minor gripe, Yeah,
and exactly.
I also, I usually don't like to argue the whole, well, they didn't make the perfect decision argument.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a good argument to me,
not.
because people don't make good decisions in reality, much less in movies,
Yeah.
So, all that's really good, and I think that Prometheus does an amazing job of establishing this whole engineers, all this going on thing, which is carried over really great into Covenant.
Yes.
So Covenant, and this is the point I was going to make about David.
Yeah.
Okay. David, interestingly enough, which this is a Ridley Scott theme in general, is an android with a god complex.
Yes.
He was pretty much told, and you realize this, at the beginning of Covenant, that he was unique.
Yeah.
And that he was more, powerful than any other android before him.
Yeah.
And he also understood while talking to Wayland early on that he would outlast him.
Yeah.
And that he would outlast every human that he ever met.
I mean, I love that whole like first beginning scene.
I know,
like,
it's real good.
It's a perfect setup for David as a character.
Yeah, because it's like he's trying to go beyond, and then as soon as he gets to a certain point of questioning, Waylon's like, "Bring me my tea."
Yeah,
and he cuts him off.
What was it?
It's like know your place, you know.
Yeah, essentially, it's just like I created you, and then David's like, "Well, who created you?"
Yeah,
you know, like,
that's what they're gonna find out.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
that again is part of that really cool idea of these films, which I'm wondering where they're going to go from here.
Man, I'm really interested to see what the third one could possibly be, because
it's got to bridge the gap, right?
It's got to bridge the gap somehow, and it really seems like, at least the way we were left at the end of Covenant, they're going to have to do a lot of backtracking to get to where the first Alien picks up.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to see. I still really like this movie. I definitely don't like it as much as Prometheus. And
yeah, I agree.
I could probably say, like, it's probably on par with Alien 3 for me. You know what I mean? Like with me, it would be Aliens, Alien 3, or Prometheus, Alien 3, Covenant, and Resurrection. That's probably a good.
Yeah.
You know, about how.
Well, so just to really quickly go over Covenant, because I don't want to like super dig into it.
No.
What's the name of that character? The I guess
Tennessee? Danny McBride?
No, his lady.
Ferris?
Is that her name?
Maybe. Yes.
Okay, so Ferris. Yeah, Maggie Ferris. Absolutely, yeah. Maggie Ferris makes me really angry in this movie. Out of any other character, she's the one. I still think that this cast is less competent than the Prometheus cast.
Yes, 100%.
But dude, Ferris is an idiot.
Specifically,
she screws up so much just back to back. You know, let the girl out of the thing. Just let her out. And she doesn't open the door until it's already
it's already too late.
Yeah.
Like, if you were gonna open the door anyway, why didn't you do
it and help her get out?
Yeah, you know,
because you weren't thinking. You were just standing there, and then like she slips on the blood. Oh my god! It makes me so angry. She grabs
a shotgun and shoots
explosive,
huge,
NC2 containers.
Yeah.
You're like, oh.
It's just one bad thing, and I guess you could chalk that up to being like frantic.
Dude, it's too shitty.
Fearful.
No, you run out of the place. You completely run out of the ship. You don't.
I mean, it's just.
It was too many mistakes at once.
Talk about a really dumb character. Ferris is right up there.
Yeah.
But what'd you think of Daniels?
I was about to say, I like Daniels. I like Shaw better.
Yeah, definitely.
But I think Daniels is still like a good,
she's solid.
Yeah, she seems like she actually reminds me a lot of the character that what's her name? Elizabeth Ripley? Is that right? Ellen Ripley. Yeah. It's no, her daughter.
Oh, Amanda.
That's it. She kind of reminds me of like the way that character is portrayed in Isolation. Yeah. But
that's cool.
But I like her a lot. I think that there's a little bit about Covenant in general that's kind of confusing as far as, are those also the same things as the
Deacon?
No. I'm talking about the engineers. Are those also the engineers that are in the city, or are those a different kind? Because they do look a little bit different, know. And then there's like,
I would think that those are like I've always just assumed that that was the engineers, because that's what they said. It's like, we're going to go to the planet, and when they arrive, David just unleashes
all of that,
all bad.
Which it seems like the weaponized version of the ooze is different than the ooze that you'd seen before, because it didn't turn them all into stuff; it just killed them.
Yeah, immediately.
It was almost like what you saw at the beginning of Prometheus that kind of melted him, you know. Which I love that scene at the beginning where he's seeding life. That's one of my favorite scenes, you know, and then the DNA strands and everything. Like, that's such a cool scene. Yeah. And then,
the fact that Michael Fassbender not only did a great job again with David, but man, I really like Walter.
And Walter's different.
He's
completely different. Yeah.
Completely different. A completely different character.
Yeah, I like Walter too.
Yeah. And it was really good, awesome watching the making ofs on the DVD on the Blu-rays that I have, and watching, you know, the Covenant ones where he's having to act with himself, like when he's playing the flute.
Oh yeah,
with himself, you know, essentially. Like, that was really cool to watch him have to, you know, go back and forth. You know, with somebody being there in front of him and then somebody not being there. Really good, really excellent split screen, like fantastic scene.
Yeah.
And when you see how they actually pulled it off, it's like, wow, this is actually really innovative. Like, so. And
it's seamless.
Oh, it's absolutely seamless. You really can't tell. So what'd you think of Danny McBride's character, Tennessee?
Oh, love him.
Love him.
Absolutely love him, yeah.
Great character.
Yeah. Country mama, take me home.
That's John Denver.
Country
I don't fuck around with John Denver.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I really like that.
Yeah.
I actually watched a movie not too long ago that also has that same song in it. That Logan Lucky.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's funny.
I've heard a lot about that one. And a lot of people were telling me that.
It's a good one, dude. You should check it out. I think it's on Amazon right now.
Oh, excellent.
That's right. Yeah.
Fantastic.
But so, I feel like the only issue with Covenant is it's got middle of a trilogy syndrome.
Yeah.
Is that you can tell it's raising more questions than answers, and I like the questions that it raises, but it just it doesn't feel as complete as Prometheus did. And although Prometheus was still open ended, it still felt like a solid this is the whole thing.
A solid.
This
movie.
Almost feels like half a story. You know?
And well.
I mean, all that crew is ended, I guess, but at the same time, it's like, you know.
Yeah, but I don't know. Covenant, while it definitely executed its ideas very well, but and like you said, it kind of raised a lot more questions than it answered.
Yeah.
I honestly come away from this movie not really caring about many of the questions.
I kind of know what you mean, though. Yeah, it's not. It's not. Well,
yes, there's a question there, but I don't really care about the answer. You know, and I think that's the weakest part of it to me. Personally.
Oh yeah.
Other than the chestburster just not.
Oh yeah.
Looking the way a chestburster has looked before, and you could honestly say, oh well, this is the first actual xenomorph.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
but you'd think that it would still have that
it wouldn't
serpentine,
just be a teeny tiny like pocket version of xenomorph. Chestburster is such an iconic creature in this universe.
Yeah.
That to like change it that drastically, it was just it was just really off putting.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Man, I think the overall tone in the movie's good.
Yeah.
I do think that the crew is dumber overall than any of the other crews.
Oh, 100%.
And that Ferris is a total fuck up.
Oh yeah. Well, what's funny is Tennessee is probably the smartest one. In
I know. When Danny McBride is the smart one, we've got a problem.
Yeah.
Nothing against Danny McBride. I love you. I love you, Danny McBride. Man, Eastbound and Down.
And, such a good show.
But so, the end then.
Yeah.
Right.
when David puts the like facehugger embryos in with the rest of the like colony embryos.
Well, and when he puts her to sleep. You
oh
know?
yeah.
And because she asked him the question about the log
Well,
cabin.
because she thinks it's Walter.
Yeah.
You know?
And then he's like, huh, well, sleep tight.
Yeah,
I mean, what-
and then like as soon as like she's actually about to fall asleep, she realizes, oh shit, this
That's
is David. That
David.
was a really good.
Yeah, and
that was really good.
And that's kind of
did
what I mean
really like the
about
ending.
it leading into the next movie. Like, it just
Yeah.
feels like, oh no, what's going on? Because I feel like David has got to be. I don't think he's going back home. Like, I don't feel like he's trying to take the alien back home.
Not at all.
But does that mean he's trying to seed the alien on another planet? Does that mean?
I would think he would. I think the colony planet that they were. I think that's where it's probably going to pick up in the next one. If I had to guess, because
Well, do you think that he's? Do you think he's going to seed LV-223 then?
Yeah.
Because that would have to be the next thing to do,
I would
right?
I would think if not LV-223, then maybe a planet in that same system. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Because I don't remember what planet they were going to originally.
Oh yeah.
But the planet they ended up on in Covenant was definitely not the one that the colony was originally supposed to.
Yeah. Agreed.
You know? Yeah. So he might be actually going to that specific planet.
Okay.
And plan on seeding the Xenomorphs.
Orgai 6 or something. I think
like
that's
that.
it. Yeah.
Like that. Speaking of planet names.
Yeah.
Yeah, Fury from Alien 3. This is just a little side note, guys. This is something that we noticed.
Because it's... let me make sure I get this straight, because we don't want to...
Another thing that Alien Resurrection did real bad. Look this up, because I want to make sure that this is right.
Yeah, Furia 161, and I
Yeah.
swear to God, in Alien Resurrection, they say Furia 16.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, you got to get your facts straight about your own series.
Like, look, man, if you're
know?
not going to make a good movie, at least get the lore straight.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I think that we've passed the lowest point in the Aliens franchise.
100%.
And I think that if they can figure out a way to appropriately adapt from the end of Covenant to the beginning of the first Alien film, then we could have a very cool loop.
Yeah.
And then they could stop making these movies.
Just stop.
Right?
Yeah. At least for a while.
At least for a while, you know, but just stop. You know,
let it germinate. Let it get back into the public consciousness. Let it, you know, let's get some, you know, more like, I guess, original ideas.
That's right.
Because it would be honestly awesome to see like far distant future. You know, maybe after this,
or maybe an Alien vs Predator movie that didn't suck.
That'd be good. Yeah. Speaking of which, eventually we are going to do a Predator episode, and I think we'll talk about the AVP movies on that one.
We're gonna lump them into that one.
Yeah, lump them into that one. But anyways, I don't know. Final thoughts?
Man, my final thoughts are definitely that. Okay, I'll put it this way. I know. I have a friend that has not seen any of the Alien films until just recently. The first one he saw was Covenant.
Oh, okay.
And it was good enough for him to want to see the rest of them.
Excellent.
So that to me means that movie is successful. And that's the only one other than Resurrection that I'm iffy about.
Right.
And it's only iffy, not fuck this movie like I am with Resurrection.
Well, I think that on that subject, and this can pertain to a lot of big franchises and especially a lot of sci-fi franchises.
Yeah.
I think fans of whatever movie of whatever movies can kind of turn their nose up towards the lesser ones and tend to only want to show people, you know, the really good ones are the ones that they should be watching.
I feel that way about Highlander, and I know you do too. You're not going to show somebody two.
No. Wait, which one?
You know, the movie that doesn't exist.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, that one. But no, but it doesn't really matter. Ultimately, this is the point I'm trying to make. It doesn't matter how somebody is introduced to a franchise or to a set of movies or to a comic book or to a game series. It doesn't matter how they're introduced to it, as long as they're introduced
Yeah.
to it.
Absolutely.
You know, and even if they start on a weak point, there's no reason to think that they can't go back
Yeah,
and pick up the good ones. You
I
know
just
what I mean?
can't wait to hear how he feels about the older
About the
films.
older films.
Because seeing, Aliens, Alien 3 now
Yeah.
has got to be, like, in having never seen it before,
Yeah.
that's got to be a wild thing.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know?
It's got to be at least a little jarring
Yeah.
because they are definitely products of their time.
They're dated. They're dated.
But they still hold up. It's
Yeah,
that
they do.
weird line. Like, we've just gotten to that weird line now to where, like, they're just now starting to look really dated.
Yeah, man.
But they're still such good movies, you know. So
Well, beyond that, again, we plugged it earlier, but we've got a gaming podcast that should be launching at some point. I don't know, whenever we feel like
we've
it.
recorded the first episode.
We have.
We're
it's-
going to be recording the second episode here soon.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. It's the Occasionally Relevant Gaming Podcast. We'll also be doing a Let's Play channel, which will do all sorts of things, mostly emulator-related games or VR things.
And eventually, as this becomes bigger and we get a much bigger audience, we'll probably start doing some actual movie reviews on YouTube. I think right now this podcast is going to go straight YouTube.
Yeah.
Just simply because a lot of the streaming services like SoundCloud and Bandcamp only allow me to upload so much
Absolutely.
a month, and then they want money. And since we're not really making any money off of this currently, it's easier for us to just go straight YouTube.
Yeah. Which is part of the reason we're testing out the video.
Well, yeah,
so
which is another-
please give us feedback on the video. Let us
Please.
know if we need to change anything. We've just got this setup going on. Hopefully the lighting is well enough, and our tests seem to work out just fine.
heck yeah.
And I guess as production manager, I kind of need to know everything I can to improve your reception of the podcast.
And I'll let you know
Yeah.
what they say.
Please. Well,
Because I'm the one that reads the comments, guys. Well, anyways, guys, thank you so much for joining us. If you want to email us, contact us in any way, you can do that through Facebook. We have an email address, madcinemist@gmail.com. That's madcinemist with an apostrophe or with an S apostrophe. Actually, no apostrophe. Just madcinemists, plural.
thank you for confusing our guests.
You're welcome.
You can read it in the comments section.
That's right. You can read it in the comments section. I'll link all those. You can also find us on Facebook and YouTube. So like, share, and subscribe. And I think that's pretty much it.
Another episode completed.
Complete. Guys, come back with us next month. We're going to be talking about our top 5 bargain bin movies. It's our 5th episode, so I wanted to do something kind of 5 theme.
Yeah.
And
so 5 bargain bin movies. We're gonna go to.
we're gonna go to Walmart, Target,
places like that, and we're
Best
gonna
Buy.
find some
some
movies.
good solid ones. Hopefully,
right.
some ones that you wouldn't expect to find.
Yes.
In those. So come back next month. Anyways, that'd be it.
All right, guys.
Tell everybody bye, Philip.
Bye.
Bye.